At 12. Good Morning San Antonio starts right now.
Terror has reached our doorstep. The nightmare of every community has come to Raleigh.
Another American city rocked by gun violence, this time in Raleigh, North Carolina. What police are saying about the shooter and the 5 people killed.
Here at home, 2 people are dead after a shootout between neighbors. Now authorities are identifying those victims.
And a quick look outside with live cam starting at 71 degrees. It's actually pretty nice out there. I feel less humidity.
Good morning. It's Friday, October 14th. Thank you so much for waking up with us this morning at 4:30. It's
Friday,
nice.
Though.
It's
yes,
nice. I walked outside and it almost smelled like fall.
Yes, and we like that for October. That's very appropriate. And we have Mia to talk about the less humidity. We'll take anything at this point.
We definitely will. Yeah, that front that moved through yesterday, it didn't do a whole lot for us in terms of our temperatures yesterday afternoon, but it's that drier air. That was the biggest benefit that we saw from that boundary that moved through. And you can feel that drier air out there very early this morning, especially across the central and northern reaches of south central Texas. Not really a whole lot going on out there. Nothing in terms of rain early this Friday morning. We do have a few clouds that have been able to stream in from the west, but other than that, we are pretty quiet. You can see, though, where that front that did move through yesterday morning is actually stalled across portions of our area. In terms of those dew points, it is a bit more muggy for places like Pleasanton, reaching back over to Kennedy, as well as Carrizo Springs. But on the north side of that boundary, those dew points sitting in the 30s up in the hill country, and even those low 40s for places like Kerrville, Hondo, New Braunfels, and for us here in San Antonio. So that's why it does feel a little bit more like fall out there early this morning as well. Temperatures a mixed bag between the 50s up in the hill country, 60s, and even a few low 70s. 71 is still where we sit over at the airport here in San Antonio, 71 in Pleasanton as well. We'll see if we can't find those temperatures drop into the 60s here over the next few hours right before the sun comes up. Then as we head into the afternoon, those temperatures once again above average in the upper 80s and low 90s. The humidity does return for all of us into the weekend. It's still going to be hot out there this weekend as well, but we do have better prospects and promises for a fall front to move in on Sunday night. That does bring with it our next best chance for rain. We'll have all those details coming up in a few. Sarah, Steph.
Thank you, Mia. Now to a clear alert that you may see on your way to work this morning. The Harris County Sheriff's Office is looking for 49-year-old Michelle Roens and 17-year-old Tyler Roens. They were last seen around noon yesterday in Humble, north of Houston. Now, the 2 were last seen in 2011 in a 2011 black Mazda 3 with Texas license plate PGP 2413. If you know where they are or if you have any information that could help find them, you're asked to call the Harris County Sheriff's Office.
Well, 2 are dead and 1 person injured after a shootout between neighbors at an apartment complex. We now know the name of those 2 people that were killed. They're identified as 35-year-old Dante Smoots and 33-year-old Anthony Smoots. The shooting happened last Sunday at an apartment complex on Rigsby Avenue. Police say the men, along with a neighbor in the building next door, were firing at each other. Both men died from gunshot wounds to their chests. A 26-year-old man was shot in the ankle. And breaking news overnight from North Carolina, a shooting rampage, several people killed, including an off-duty police officer.
As ABC's Rhiannon Alley reports, people in Raleigh were on edge, told to stay inside for hours as police tried to secure that area.
Overnight, another American city rocked by gun violence.
Terror has reached our doorstep. The nightmare of every community has come to Raleigh.
Police in Raleigh, North Carolina say a juvenile suspect is in custody after a shooting along a nature trail that left 5 people dead, including an off-duty police officer. Residents nearby told to shelter in place as officers searched for the gunman. Investigators are now combing over 4 separate crime scenes.
We must stop this mindless violence in America. We must address gun violence.
Police overnight not revealing any more details about the juvenile suspect or a possible motive.
The suspect is contained. Again, this is an evolving investigation.
Meanwhile, in Bristol, Connecticut, investigators now believe 2 state troopers were fatally ambushed, lured to a home Wednesday night by a 911 call, claiming there was a domestic disturbance.
Shots fired, officer down.
When officers arrived, authorities say they found Nicholas Brucher outside the house, where he opened fire with an AR-15 style rifle, killing Officer Alex Hamzy and Sergeant Dustin DeMonte, and injuring Officer Alex Ayerado. The suspect was killed in the shootout.
Our hearts are broken. We're united in immeasurable grief for those hero officers, for their families and friends, and for all of our law enforcement personnel.
Sources say the gunman had been confronted by police earlier in the night for disorderly conduct at a bar. Rhiannon Alley, ABC News, New York.
Well, the U.S. House Select Committee investigating the U.S. Capitol riots will subpoena former President Donald Trump. The panel ended their hearing by voting unanimously to summon the former president to testify during a public hearing. They also plan to seek documents directly from Trump. Political experts do not expect the ex-commander-in-chief to comply with the subpoena. In fact, the action will most likely trigger a prolonged court battle. Yesterday's hearing was the Select Committee's last before November's midterm elections.
Florida's governor is easing voting rules for residents hit hard by Hurricane Ian. Governor Ron DeSantis issued an executive order that extends early voting and allows voters to cast ballots at any precinct. Residents there can also request mail-in ballots to be sent to addresses other than their homes. They can cast ballots at early voting sites right up until Election Day. In other counties, those sites must shut down the day before Election Day.
Well, Elon Musk is warning free internet for Ukraine's military using SpaceX Starlink could be coming to an end. The company has donated about 20,000 Starlink satellite units to Ukraine. They're helping the country's military communicate after cellular and internet networks have been destroyed in the war with Russia. Musk says it's cost his company $80 million, and he warned the Pentagon that it won't continue. A recently uncovered letter says not only is SpaceX considering not donating additional new units, it wants the Pentagon to pay to keep the current ones active. That bill would be $400 million for the next 12 months.
And time now is 4:37 and 70 degrees for now.
Paying too much for renting your home? You're not alone. We'll tell you how much most people are paying on average.
And the Spurs taking on the Thunder in the final preseason game at the AT&T Center last night. It was a close game all night. Find out what the players had to say about their performance.
70 degrees at 4:37. Let's take a look outside with the roads. That's I-10 and Frio. Right now, I'm not seeing any lights on the screen or on any of our TransGuide cameras. If an incident pops up, we'll let you know before you head out to the door for your morning commute.
And taking a look outside with live cam, it is Friday morning and we're starting at 70 degrees. Not too bad for a Friday morning. We'll be right back. And welcome back. It's 4:40 in the final preseason game before the season starts next Wednesday. The Spurs taking on the Oklahoma City Thunder last night. Now, Spurs off to a great start. Doug McDermott finds Josh Primo for the reverse layup. Spurs had 8 assists in the first quarter and led 31-26 after 1. Now, Spurs fall behind in the second, but Josh Primo gets the Spurs back even at 50. The game would be tied at 62 at the break. Now, Spurs turn up the defense in the second half. Devin Vassell intercepts the pass, and he is going the other way and finishes with a circus shot. Primo led the Spurs with 23. It would still be close late in the game, tied at 107. But the Spurs can't close the deal late. They fall 118-112.
I mean, we're young. We had a lot of turnovers in the second quarter. What kind of, messed us up. But we got to learn how to play through that. The games are full of runs, ups and downs. So, I think we've progressed throughout here, and we'll go through here next couple of days and watch some film and talk about it and grow.
So the Spurs will begin regular season play on Wednesday against the Charlotte Hornets. Tip-off is at 7 p.m. at the AT&T Center. And game 2 of the ALDS between the Astros and Mariners in Houston, down 2-1 in the 6th when the hero of the game won, Yordan Alvarez, comes through again. This time it's a 2-run blast to left to put Houston on top 3-2. In the 8th, Alex Bregman adds a little insurance with the RBI single to the right that scores Jeremy Pena. Houston takes game 2 4-2 and is only 1 win away from moving on to the ACLS. The series shifts to Seattle tomorrow. High school football now. The Clark Cougars taking their 5-2 record into last night's district showdown against the Churchill Chargers. First quarter, the Chargers forcing the Cougars to punt. He snaps and blocked, and Churchill scoops it up in the end zone for the touchdown. The final from 24-7. Churchill takes this one. Another district showdown, this one in 29 6A at Ferris Stadium between the Warren Warriors and the O'Connor Panthers. Warren in the red zone. Quarterback Antonio Mesa takes a snap and fires to the end zone for the 13-yard score. 7-0 Warren. The final from Ferris, 40-12. And finally, area round of the high school water polo playoffs began last night. The Alamo Heights girls taking on Harlan. Hawks trailing 2-0 early in the first period. Brooke Jimenez fires and her shot deflects into the goal. Hawks cut the deficit in half, but Alamo Heights pulls away. Goalkeeper Emma Hetrick with a long pass ahead to Avery Keshnick behind that defense. She eventually scores on the breakaway. Mules advance with a 20-8 victory.
It's 4:43 and 70 degrees.
And if you are renting, you know that the price of staying in your home has gone up over the past years. We're going to tell you how much and if the high prices will stop anytime soon.
Up next, the wife and mother of a Los Angeles pitcher who died from a drug overdose talk about the man who provided the drugs after he was sentenced to prison.
In this morning's GMA First Look, an ABC News exclusive.
I loved him so much. We had a love that was so special.
The wife and mother of former Major League Baseball pitcher Tyler Skaggs speaking out about his fatal overdose in 2019.
He loved life. He didn't want to die.
An autopsy report revealing Tyler had choked to death on his vomit and had a dangerous combination of fentanyl, oxycodone, and alcohol in his system. On Tuesday, Eric Kay, a former communications director for the Los Angeles Angels, was sentenced to 22 years in federal prison for providing Tyler with the drugs that led to his death.
There's a lot of people who have died from fentanyl overdoses.
Fentanyl does not discriminate, you know. What happened to Tyler can happen to anyone.
And we'll have much more of this exclusive interview coming up at 7 a.m. with your GMA First Look. I'm Rhiannon Alley, ABC News, New York.
Well, it seems like the price of pretty much everything is rising, especially rent.
As Marilyn Morris shows us, on average, it's gone up more than 7% in the last year, which can be devastating for people already struggling to pay for gas and groceries.
Connie Gamboa is disabled and has no job, and now her rent just went up $100 a month.
Now I have to be careful, like how I buy my groceries and how I manage to pay my other bills.
Across the city, rents are on the rise.
I've been looking around at other places and places that I could have afforded 3 years ago. I can't really afford now.
So how much are people paying for apartments? Well, according to rent.com, a 2-bedroom is going for $1,300 a month. That's 14% more than 1 year ago.
We're seeing $200, $300, $400 increases.
Jennifer Gonzalez says her nonprofit Alamo Community Group is getting more and more calls. They provide affordable housing to qualified tenants, but they're full. She says rising rents are pushing people out.
We're seeing a lot of doubling up. In some instances, we're having to give, referrals to Haven for Hope.
Low-income families are hardest hit, she says. Wages just don't keep pace, something Bertha Gonzalez knows.
I just get paid $10 an hour. Imagine I'm a home provider. It's very hard. My husband works, but also he does not get paid much. So it's getting harder and harder.
Like many economists, Gonzalez sees a small silver lining, not that rents will come down, but that the rise will soon begin to slow. Marilyn Moritz, KSAT 12 News.
Let's take a look outside with TransGuide. Right now, you're looking at 410 and Jackson Keller. No incidents out there, 410 and Starcrest. Let's take a look at one more. See some flashing lights on the frontage road of Loop 410 at Ingram. Stephen Cavazos will give us an update on that later this morning.
Yes, he will. And I always noticed, on the way to work on Friday, I always see more vehicles on the roadway. I wonder if people trying to start early.
Or people may have gone out on Thursday. They're coming home.
I didn't even think about that.
I don't know. Thursday's usually is practice Friday.
That is true.
But today is the real deal. Today is Friday.
Yes.
And we have Mia in the house this morning. Good morning, Mia.
Good morning, y'all. Happy to be here joining the ladies show, plus Steven, of course.
Yes. Glad to have you here. And we're excited that it's Friday and that the weather may take a turn.
It will, yes. So we had that front that moved through yesterday. It was pretty dry for most. We were able to manage a few showers and a couple of storms closer to the coast yesterday afternoon. But the biggest thing that we found from that boundary moving through South Texas was some lower humidity values, that drier air pumping in off that breezier northeast wind that we saw yesterday. Wind's not going to be as much of a factor out there this Friday. As we take a look at the change in the dew points now compared to this time yesterday across the central and northern reaches of our area, much drier air in place. That front has actually stalled though across the region, and you can see farther down to the south just a little bit more of that muggy air in place early this morning. We are going to see those dew points increase throughout the day today, and even more so into the upcoming weekend as we start to see those winds shift back in from the southeast. Taking a look at temperatures across the area this morning, a few 50s the farther northwest you go across portions of the hill country, some 60s out there as well. 71 in San Antonio, 72 in Pleasanton, it's 71 in Del Rio this hour, and 67 in Uvalde. Taking a closer look here at the San Antonio Metro, 64 in Bulverde, just shy of 60 up in the Bernie Stage area. As we head into the morning hours, low to mid 70s expected by about 9 to 10 a.m. Partly cloudy skies, more peaks of sunshine into the afternoon, helping those temperatures warm. It is going to be another warmer than average afternoon with those highs climbing into the upper 80s, low 90s. Again, we do have a few clouds streaming in from the west across portions of the area early this morning. That very well could be the theme as we head into the first half of the day as well. Most of us will stay dry, but maybe can't completely rule out a few very isolated showers to the south and east of San Antonio before the day is done. Not going to be drought busting, unfortunately. Again, most of us miss out on the activity this Friday. This is the latest drought monitor that was released yesterday morning. We did see some slight expansion of some of those drought conditions, still have extreme to even exceptional drought in place near the San Antonio Metro, stretching up I-35 as well. The good news is we do have a better chance for rain that moves in Sunday night and into Monday with our next cold front. But until it can get here, that humidity returns this weekend. You will be able to feel it. Warmer mornings, upper 60s, low 70s, transitioning to the upper 80s, low 90s as we head into the afternoon. Here comes that front though. I think most of our Sunday is dry, but then by Sunday evening and even more so into Monday, we really start to see that moisture take over with that front moving through. We'll call it about a 60 to 70% chance on Monday. And then the good news is, along with that rain chance, a taste of fall. So we're talking mornings in the 50s and then highs only in the 70s.
That's exciting.
Like real fall.
Like real fall.
Like fall.
Like we can bust out the sweaters in the mornings for sure. And I mean, 70s into the afternoons. For reference, we're starting off our mornings tomorrow and into Sunday near about 70. So if we can just have that for an afternoon high, that's good news there.
Yes. I feel like nobody breathe.
Yes, nobody move.
Nobody
move. We don't want to jinx it or anything, but prospects are looking pretty good for that.
Thank you, Mia.
You bet.
All right, it's 4:53 and 70 degrees.
And the final film in the Halloween franchise hits theaters this weekend. Why some say it's tough to predict how it will do.
Well, Halloween Ends is expected to rule the box office this weekend.
For the latest on what's happening in Hollywood, here's ABC's Jason Nathanson.
I was certain that I saw him watching me.
Expect horror to reign once again at the box office. Halloween Ends wraps up the most recent Halloween trilogy. The last film opened to $49.4 million, and experts predict a similar debut, though it'll also stream simultaneously this weekend, making it hard to forecast. Halloween Ends is the only film opening wide across the country.
Let me guess, it's Romeo Montague, isn't it?
Streaming, it's Rosalind, set in the world of Romeo and Juliet, but focusing on the story of Rosalind, who is mentioned in Shakespeare's play as Romeo's first love. She's played by Caitlin Dever, who tells me the film is about the complications of love.
Sometimes you think you might be in love with somebody, and then it turns out to be either lust or infatuation, or you think that this is the person you are supposed to be and meant to be with for the rest of your life, and that doesn't quite pan out always.
Rosalind is streaming on Hulu. Silk Sonic's debut single, Leave the Door Open, won a bunch of Grammys earlier this year, but the album it's on won't be up for Grammy recognition. Bruno Mars says he and Anderson .Paak are pulling the project from being considered because they feel they've been honored enough already. And happy birthday, Usher. The R&B superstar is 44 today. While the Chick singer Natalie Maines is 48. And that's what's happening in Hollywood. I'm Jason Nathanson, ABC News, Los Angeles.
Well, it's 4:58 and 70 degrees.
And former President Trump summoned to demand his personal testimony about the riots at the U.S. Capitol, while some say it's unlikely that he will actually do so.
Plus, a one-of-a-kind event is coming to Uvalde. We'll tell you when and how the Balling for Uvalde World Weekend will honor the victims and their families in a very special way.
And a quick look at the roads with TransSky. We do see some flashing lights there off of Loop 410 at Ingram Road. But Stephen Cavazos is in the studio now, so we're going to be checking with him very shortly.
Live from KSAT 12. Good Morning San Antonio starts right now.
Obviously, this person did not have did not exercise good judgment or sound judgment. So, you can't condone that kind of stuff.
A former San Antonio police officer out on bond after shooting a 17-year-old in a McDonald's parking lot. Now SAPD is confirming more information about what happened that night.
The fallout from what will likely be the final January 6th hearing. I'm ABC's Jay O'Brien in Washington. The never-before-seen video and the surprising conclusion to the hearing. Coming up.
And here at home, we are starting at 70 degrees. That is great news. It's going to be a pretty warm weekend, but we are already excited about Monday. Isn't that weird to be excited about Monday on a Friday?
Right. Good morning. It's Friday, October 14th. Thank you so much for joining us this morning. So right, because it's like, okay, let's just get through the weekend to get to Monday.
Right, so that way
no one ever.
It could actually feel like fall, but we are excited about that. So, okay, we'll just enjoy the warm weekend, right, Mia?
Exactly. I mean, it is the weekend. That's fantastic. But yes, cannot wait for the start of next week, because that is when we have a better front that moves into South Texas. Not only will it filter in some cooler air for next week that will make it feel a lot more like fall, but also gives us our next decent rain chance. But yes, before we can get there, it is still going to be warm out there into the upcoming weekend. This morning, we'll see if our temperatures can dip down into the upper 60s here in San Antonio by the time the kids are headed off to the bus stop. We have seen some clouds move in this morning that may prevent those temperatures from falling too much. But into the afternoon, it is still going to be warmer than average, with those afternoon highs climbing into the upper 80s and low 90s. Now, as we head into the upcoming weekend, we are expecting that warm up. In fact, humidity is also going to increase as well as we see those winds flip in from the southeast. So you will notice more of that muggy feel out there, especially by tomorrow morning. And it still is going to be above average in terms of those afternoon highs as well, with those temperatures around 90 still expected Saturday and into our Sunday. But that next front does arrive Sunday night and early Monday, and that will make it feel just a little bit better out there. Speaking of feeling a little better, especially across the central and northern reaches of the area early this Friday morning, still do have that drier air in place, so temperatures have been able to fall just a little bit more. 56 in Kerrville this hour, a little bit warmer across the southern portions of our area thanks to more of that humidity still in place from that stalled front across the area as well. 72 in Pleasanton, 73 out in Cotulla. Partly cloudy skies expected into this Friday. Those temperatures climbing into the upper 80s, low 90s deputies will have another look at that weekend forecast in just a few. But first, let's go over to Stephen for a look at that morning commute.
Hey, thanks a lot, Mia. And you know what? It's still pumpkin spice season, so I'm not going to let the humidity bring us down. Hey, let's go ahead and get a look at the commute right now. Things look okay as we get a look around town. 410 at Evers. Really not a lot of folks out there this early in the morning, and that's fine if you have to go grab that pumpkin spice latte this early. But just remember to be careful. Obviously, still dark out there, and there are a few folks, so just remember, follow the rules of the road. Let's go ahead and get you to the map, because what we are seeing, though, are going to be those active road closures, and I'll be able to bring you that information in the next few minutes. But right now, if you are going to have to head out the door and head to the Alamo City, let's check out those travel times, because it's still pretty green. If you're traveling in from Seguin on I-10 West, 29 minutes at this hour, about a little more than half an hour for our friends down in Laverdia, 87 northbound if you're traveling in this early. And hey, for our friends down in Floresville, I should say, 28 minutes right now in those northbound lanes. So I wouldn't say you need to rush out the door to head to the Alamo City, but just remember to take your time and, of course, always obey the rules of the roads. Let's get back to TransGuide 410 at Jackson Keller. Things are moving just fine, but we'll have an update on those road closures in the next few minutes. Steph, Sarah?
Thank you, Stephen. New this morning, a woman is badly hurt after she was hit by a car overnight. This happened just before 2 a.m. in the 6400 block of I-10 near Balcones Road on the northwest side. Police say a woman was walking in the street on the access road of I-10 when someone driving a dark colored car hit her. Now, the driver of that car did stop to help. The woman was taken to the hospital in critical condition.
A one-of-a-kind event is coming to Uvalde in 2023, and at the heart of it are plans to help the city heal. The Bowling for Uvalde World Weekend will serve as a fundraiser for a new rec center. Organizers also plan to honor the Robb Elementary School victims. The fundraiser will have charity concerts, an international celebrity and family soccer tournament. Baller Academy, a youth mentoring organization behind the event, hopes to raise $15 million. It's anticipating thousands of in-person and millions to tune into their live stream worldwide. The goal is to build the state-of-the-art rec center, provide mental health and leadership programs, as well as assist the immediate surviving families of the Robb Elementary School shooting.
The complex is going to be named after these families. You're going to have the Leila Salazar track. You're going to have the Eva Morales conference room, the Jet Revenos playground. Look, there's going to be two events in 2023. The Super Bowl and the Bowling for Uvalde World Weekend. Trust me.
Well, the fundraiser is scheduled for February 4th and 5th. A kickoff event is set for November 6th. A website to donate and get tickets is already up. We have that link for you on our website on KSAT.com.
And this morning, 17-year-old Eric Cantu is on life support fighting a high fever while attached to a ventilator. That's according to the family's lawyer. This incident has made local and national headlines since the release of video showing a now fired SAPD officer shooting at a teen driving away in a car. Meanwhile, that officer, James Brennan, he's out on bond. This is video of the 27-year-old walking out of jail after posting a $200,000 bond. He was magistrated alone in his cell and kept away from other inmates, which is standard for high-profile cases. Brennan, who opened Cantu's car door without identifying himself, fired a total of 10 shots back on October 2nd. Brennan, who had been with SAPD for just 7 months, had been cleared to patrol alone just months before that shooting.
Obviously, this person did not exercise good judgment or sound judgment. So, you can't condone that kind of stuff. To me, it looked like lack of training, lack of experience.
The San Antonio Police Department confirmed that the vehicle Cantu was in at the time of the shooting was not stolen. They also said the license plates on Cantu's vehicle did not belong to the car he was driving, but they didn't give any more details. Brennan is facing 2 counts of aggravated assault by a public servant. If Cantu passes away, 1 charge against him will be upgraded.
The House Select Committee investigating the deadly Capitol attack held what will likely be their final public hearing last night.
ABC's Jay O'Brien reports lawmakers showed never-before-seen video, and at the end of the hearing, a surprising decision to subpoena former President Trump to testify under oath.
This morning, the fallout from the stunning finale of what is expected to be the last January 6th hearing.
We have got to finish the proceedings.
The committee playing never-before-seen footage of lawmakers, including House Speaker Nancy Pelosi and Senate Democratic leader Chuck Schumer, scrambling to respond as rioters breached the Capitol.
They're putting on their tear gas masks.
The group bipartisan, Republican leaders like Senators Mitch McConnell and John Thune there as well. The video shot by Pelosi's daughter, a filmmaker.
Can you get the Maryland National Guard to come too?
The scenes, part of a larger case the committee made arguing former President Donald Trump was the central player in a plot to overturn the 2020 election, showing evidence that if he lost, Trump planned as early as July to claim the election was stolen, a lie that motivated a mob of Trump supporters to attack the Capitol. The committee also showing the Secret Service had ample warning about threats of violence on January 6th from groups like the Proud Boys, receiving a tip 10 days before. And making the case Trump could have called off the mob at any time, showing how rioters reacted to his eventual message to leave the Capitol hours after it was first breached.
He says go home. He says go home.
The panel concluding by issuing a subpoena for Donald Trump to testify under oath.
We are obligated to seek answers directly from the man who set this all in motion. And every American is entitled to those answers, so we can act now to protect our republic.
Overnight on his social media platform, former President Trump said he would respond to the January 6th committee this morning, but he did not directly say if he would address the subpoena. Jay O'Brien, ABC News, Washington.
Time now, 5:10 and 71 degrees for now.
Well, Netflix is getting ready to launch its new ad-supported plan soon. We'll tell you how much it'll cost compared to the typical price.
A snack shop known for its delicious snacks in hot water now after its fruit was found in warm temperatures, and then came the insects. Well, we're going to break down their health score when we go behind the kitchen door.
71 degrees at 5:11 this morning. Enjoying a morning with way less humidity compared to the last couple of days. Why we are excited for Monday on a Friday, Neil will explain when we come back. Flies buzzing around a snack shop and moldy lettuce and cheese at a meat and grocery store.
These are some of the violations inspectors found at San Antonio businesses. Tim Gerber takes us behind the kitchen door.
El Chango Loco in the 2800 block of Pleasanton earned an 82 on their recent inspection. Cut fruits were being stored in refrigerators that were too warm, and there were containers of corn and pickles without date markings. Several flies were present, the inspector reminding the business to keep the back door closed and to have the AC service to keep the kitchen cool. An employee was seen putting on gloves without washing their hands, and boxes of chips, drinks, and utensils needed to be removed from the floor and placed higher up. A reinspection was ordered. Texas Meat and Grocery Store in the 3600 block of Culebra had moldy lettuce and cheese in a cooler. It was thrown out. The reach-in cooler where sausage, eggs, and hot dogs were stored was not the proper temperature. Clean dishes on the drying rack still had food splattered on them. A hand-washing sink was not working, and employees were keeping their open drinks in a deli cooler, and a dark residue around the walls near the mop sink needed to be removed. They were given a score of 83. Fruteria La Misión in the 500 block of White Avenue got an 84 on their inspection. Cut fruits and cups were too warm. Other fruits for sale, including watermelon and pineapple, all needed to be removed from the blocks of ice they were stored on. Instead, they needed to be in containers or protective wrap. The ice machine had a black mold-like residue, and there were several crickets, roaches, fruit flies, and house flies throughout the business. Holes in the ceiling needed to be fixed, and a detailed cleaning of the kitchen was also needed. A reinspection was ordered. That's what's behind the kitchen door. Tim Gerber, KSAT 12 News.
Well, it's 5:16 and 70 degrees.
And coming up, Sunny releases its over-the-counter hearing aids in the U.S., where you can find them and how much they're going to cost.
Plus, how TikTok is getting into the movie business.
Serving in Afghanistan, I was hit by sniper fire, and I was given a 5% chance to live. It's a good thing math wasn't my best subject. Today, I visit classrooms and share my story. I tell kids that with a little help and a lot of work, that you can overcome any challenge.
DAV helps veterans like Adam get the benefits they've earned. They help more than 1 million veterans every year.
My victory is being there for the next generation.
Support more victories for veterans. Go to DAV.org.
Discomfort back there? Instead of using aloe or baby wipes or powders, try the cooling, soothing relief of Preparation H, because your derriere deserves expert care. Preparation H. Get comfortable with it.
Think Dad's searching doggy diet plans for Josie? No, he's switching his choice cashback category to home improvement, so he earns more on a new doggy door, extra large.
With the Bank of America customized cash rewards card, you just can't stop getting rewarded.
Time check now, almost 5:20. Let's get a look at the commute right now because things pretty much look the same within the last 15 minutes. I'm really not seeing a lot of folks out there. There's 410 at Starcrest, maybe a few more there at 410 North at Ingram, but you see those flashing lights out in the distance. Looks like those could be just TxDOT crews working to improve the roadways, so make sure you give them plenty of room. But let's get you to the map. Nothing to talk about there, just lots of green on the screen, thankfully. But I mentioned earlier, a lot of active road closures that you can see there scattered in and around the Alamo City. Let's take you right here to FM 1513, but you know it as Northwest Military Highway. Utility work has taken place, and that has been ongoing since October 10th. That was on Monday, and we should see that wrap up according to TxDOT today on Friday, October 14th. It does begin at 7 in the morning and should wrap at 6 in the evening, so this is going to be taking pretty much all day. Multiple lane closures in both directions right there from Loop 1604 to Huebner Road. But if you want to plan your weekend commute ahead of time, grab those phones right now, open your camera app, and tap the center of your screen. That's going to take you directly to the KSAT traffic page. Has a full list of all the closures that are active throughout the month of October. Ladies.
Thank you, Stephen. Hey, Mia, we were just talking about cozy season.
Yes.
Blanket shopping.
Blanket, weather,
you can
all
never
of
have that. Cozy blankets.
You really can't, honestly. And next week, probably going to come in handy. So that is the good news there. I know Sarah was saying earlier, we're actually excited for Monday of next week. And that really is so true because, yes, we had a front move through yesterday. It really didn't do a whole lot for us, but an even more potent cold front moves in Sunday night and early Monday of next week. You can see what that does to our temperatures. It's still going to be warmer than average today, tomorrow, and into our Sunday. Those daytime highs climbing into the upper 80s, low 90s. But after we see that front move through, cooler and drier air filters in, definitely more fall-like next week, potentially some lows in the 50s, only transitioning to the 70s into the afternoon. So if you're a fall lover, you've been waiting for those temperatures, next week looking a little bit better. And that front also does look to bring us our next best chance for rain, one of the better chances that we have seen in quite some time. So we'll talk all about it. Starting off with a look, though, at those temperatures here this Friday morning. We have a few 50s across portions of the Hill Country, 55 in Kerrville this hour. Still holding on to the low 70s officially over at San Antonio International, thanks to some clouds that have moved in. 72 in Pleasanton, just shy of 70 out in Kennedy. Zooming this in a little bit more, 68 in Helotes, 72 at Port SA, 74 still at Stinson. Now we'll see if we can't find that official thermometer at San Antonio International drop into the upper 60s here right before the sun comes up. After that, those temperatures warm, about 80 by 11 a.m., low 80s into the lunchtime hour. And then again, with more peaks of sunshine this afternoon, those temperatures warmer than average for this time of year. Upper 80s, low 90s in store across the vast majority of South Central Texas. If you're stepping out for any of those Friday evening plans, say to an area football game, we'll be in the mid 80s by kickoff, around 80 as we head into halftime. Now, again, we've got that stalled boundary in place across our area. Some more muggy air to the south of where that boundary currently sits. Not a whole lot going on in terms of radar. We are quiet out there this Friday morning. That will continue to be the case for most this afternoon. Maybe an isolated spot of rain south and east of San Antonio. But again, more of us than not do stay dry, which is unfortunate because latest drought monitor that was released yesterday continues to show that extreme to exceptional drought in place near the metro and stretching up I-35 especially. But again, we do have better chances for rain, especially by Sunday night and Monday with that next front moving in. But before it can get here, that humidity rushes back in this weekend. You'll notice that in the morning, starting off closer to about 70 tomorrow morning with those dew points elevated. But that moisture will help fuel that rain chance as we head into the beginning of next next week. We'll call it about a 60 to 70% potential by Monday. It is looking like we could find maybe isolated spots of 1 to even 2 inches of rain. With that, of course, still some details to fine tune, so we will continue to work on it into the weekend. But those temperatures on the backside of that front, very exciting for fall lovers.
Looks awesome. And then in the morning, we get to wear a jacket or a sweater.
Yes, definitely will need the jackets. It's possible we could find some 40s out there as well by Wednesday and Thursday. So we're trending in that fall direction for sure.
Thank you, Mia.
We approve.
Yeah.
Thank you.
524 and 70 degrees.
Look at your winning Lotto numbers. We have 288, Fireball 6 for your pick 3. Daily 4, 2520, Fireball 7.
Cash 5, 2, 14, 22, 29, 31. Texas 2-step 519, 26, 31, 29.
In today's Tech Bites, Netflix is rolling out a cheaper plan with ads following a big drop in subscribers. Starting next month, the streaming service will offer a monthly plan for $6.99, less than half the price of its most popular plan. No downloads will be available with the ad-supported option. Sony is coming out with 2 versions of over-the-counter hearing aids. They'll be self-fitting with help from an app. Sony says they're among the smallest on the market, costing from $1,000 to $1,300. Finally, TikTok is making it easier to go to the movies. It's launching showtimes on TikTok, letting movie studios show a trailer, then immediately display details about nearby theaters and showtimes. Users can also link to a partner site where tickets can be purchased. Those are your Tech Bites. Have a great day.
It's 528 and 70 degrees.
An off-duty officer is among the dead following a shooting in North Carolina. What authorities are saying about the shooter this morning.
And head injuries are always a major concern for high school football players. How a new recommendation could significantly reduce the likelihood of a severe head injury for most players.
We have to end this mindless gun violence.
At least 5 are dead and 2 are injured after a mass shooting in Raleigh, North Carolina. What police are saying about the suspect.
And happy Friday, guys. Taking a look outside with live cam. We're at 70 degrees for now. Things will warm up today, but just today.
Good morning. It's Friday, October 14th. Thank you so much for waking up with us. Very excited, not really for the weekend, but for Monday.
For Monday. It's because of the temperature change and for the rain that we're expecting.
Yes, all good news when it comes to Monday and the next front that we are expecting to move through south central Texas. We did have that front that moved through yesterday, really didn't do a whole lot for us. Currently is draped across the region as we speak. We are quiet out there on radar, not a whole lot going on. We do have a few clouds that have managed to filter into parts of the area early this Friday from the west. You can see where more of that moisture is creeping back in across the southern reaches of the region here this morning as well. Dew points elevated in Kennedy as well as Pleasanton on the south side of that front. But for us here in San Antonio, pointing off to the north, those dew points very much still on the dry side in the upper 30s and low 40s. We are going to see, unfortunately, that moisture work its way back in throughout the day today and even more so into the upcoming weekend. Temperatures right now, we've got a few 50s in the hill country, 71 in Hondo, 71 here in town, 66 out in Uvalde and 64 in Rock Springs. We will see those temperatures climb upper 80s, low 90s as we head into this Friday afternoon. So it will be a warmer than average day out there with more of the same continuing into the upcoming weekend. Of course, with that humidity building back in as well. You'll notice that in the mornings especially. But good news is just around the corner by Sunday night and early Monday. With that next front moving in, we'll have those details in just a few. But first, let's go over to Steven. How's the morning commute looking out there?
It's all quiet over here, Mia. Let's get a look around town. 281 at Basse. Thankfully, although we're seeing a little bit more activity out there on the roadways, really nothing is going to slow drivers down at this point. There's 281 at Nakoma, where you see about maybe 2 folks making their way by there. 410 at Evers does look like a pretty steady drive right now. So I would say it's a perfect time to take an opportunity of these empty roadways. But as always, just remember to watch out for your fellow drivers. But taking you to the map, this is is new because this just popped up here. We have a few crashes that look like they are, some of them right here over near 410 and 90 that may be off of the highway. I'll have to get a closer look at TransGuide, but it does look like one here could be along I-10. We'll get a closer look and find out exactly what's going on there. But right now, travel times don't look bad at all. In fact, it's pretty pleasant if you're traveling in from Pleasanton this early in the morning. 28 minutes at this hour. Highway 90, if you're traveling in those eastbound lanes, expect at least a half an hour if you're heading into the Alamo City. And that arrival from Lytle on I-35 northbound looks to be about 17 minutes at this point. But let's get one last look at TransGuide. Things are moving there at 410 at Jackson Keller. We'll find out what's going on with those crashes over there on the map and give you those updates right here on GMSA. Sarah.
Thank you, Stephen. Now to late-breaking news. San Antonio firefighters are at the scene of a fire that appears to involve more than one building. They're working along a street called Breed, and that's not far from San Pedro Avenue and Jackson Keller.
Katrina Weber is there with a live report. And Katrina, is everyone okay?
As far as we know, no one was hurt. This appears to be on some private property owned by a business. The sign out front says Guido Construction. We can see what looks like a mobile home toward the back of this property with some soot on it. So that appears to be at least one building that was involved in the fire. Now, we have not been able to talk to anyone yet. San Antonio police won't even let us get on that side of the street. But firefighters are working. Now, we heard them talking as they arrived, talking about more than one building being involved. They also mentioned over their scanners, this is just scanner chatter at this point, that perhaps one of those was used for some sort of storage. But again, no official word from them yet. We haven't been able to talk to them. They appear to be wrapping up their hoses now, though. We have not seen any flames or any smoke from this vantage point. But we hope to get an update as soon as one of the chiefs comes out, because again, San Antonio police will not even let us get close to that side of the street to try to get any information. So for now, as far as we know, no injuries, and the fire appears to involve some buildings that belong to a private company. Reporting live on the north side, Katrina Weber, KSAT 12 News.
Thank you, Katrina. Officials in Raleigh, North Carolina say they'll give an update today on a mass shooting that happened last night.
Police say it left at least 5 people dead and 2 injured. As CNN's Amy Kiley reports, 2 police officers are among the casualties.
We have to end this mindless gun violence.
The mayor of Raleigh, North Carolina says at least 5 people are dead after a shooting last night.
As soon as I found out about this, I instructed the secretary to make all state resources that were necessary available.
Officials say an off-duty
Also, the police officer who was shot.
When we lose one of our own, it is a tragic, heartbreaking day for all of us.
The Raleigh PD says the shooting happened here around 5 o'clock in this residential neighborhood. Initially, they told people who live nearby to stay indoors. At 9:40, they announced they'd taken the suspect into custody. Police say he's a white male juvenile.
Terror has reached our doorstep. The nightmare of every community has come to Raleigh.
I don't want other mayors standing here at the podium with their hearts breaking because people in their community died.
I'm Amy Kiley reporting.
Well, most of the United States is under a drought, and it's getting worse. According to the latest update from the U.S. Drought Monitor, 55% of the country is experiencing drought conditions. It's been spreading since the beginning of September and now covers more of the nation than it has since April. More than 133 million people live in drought areas, which is the highest number since 2016. That's primarily because highly populated regions like the Southeast and Midwest are affected. The Mississippi River is also experiencing critically low water levels.
This morning, Elon Musk is under federal investigation over his $44 billion Twitter deal. Now, that is according to a court filing by the social media platform. Twitter did not say what specific conduct officials may be investigating, but the company's filing elsewhere accused Musk's legal team of failing to produce communications with the Securities and Exchange Commission and Federal Trade Commission. There's also ongoing litigation over whether Musk can walk away from the deal.
Well, former Congresswoman Gabby Giffords will serve as the Grand Marshal of next year's Rose Bowl parade. Organizers announced the former Arizona representative will lead the famous parade in Pasadena, California. 2023's theme is Turning the Corner. Giffords was shot in the head during a meet and greet event in Tucson back in 2011. She survived the assassination attempt, but had to learn how to walk and speak again. Since then, she and her husband, current U.S. Senator Mark Kelly, have been outspoken gun control advocates. Giffords will preside over the 2023 Rose Parade on January 2nd.
And the time now is 5:39, and we're at 70 degrees for now.
An important new safety suggestion is shining the spotlight on high school football teams. How changing just one thing could significantly reduce severe head injuries.
And taking a look outside with live cam, it's almost fall, y'all. Well, I guess it's officially fall, but it's going to feel like it on Monday. We're excited about that. We'll be right back.
Welcome back. The NFL updated its concussion protocol after several recent head injuries. Now the safety spotlight shining on high school football teams.
CNN's Mandy Gaither tells us why scaling back drills during football practice may help.
It's the most popular sport with high school boys. Nearly 1.5 million play football, but concerns continue to grow over head injuries.
A lot of head impacts are occurring during practice, not just the games.
That's why a new study published in the medical journal Pediatrics suggests changing the way high schoolers practice may help. The researchers from Indiana University studied 3 Midwest teams in the 2021 season using mouth sensors to gauge the impact different plays and drills have on an athlete's head.
Numbers kind of astounded me. So 74 players a season, they looked at 7,300 head impacts. So it's close to 100 impacts per player on average.
In just under 86-hour study, there were 310 head impacts with air drills or drills without contact, compared to more than 3,300 head impacts in 115 hours of thud drills, where players train at high speeds and restrict contact to above the waist.
That's a lot of head impacts on these high school football players. And it's not just concussions. It is these subconcussive or just head impacts of any sort. They accumulate over time.
Because of that cumulative effect, researchers say minimizing head impacts during drills and practice may help reduce head injuries overall.
We know more than ever that some of these chronic changes, some of these most concerning changes in the brain can start early.
For Health Minute, I'm Mandy Gaither.
And the time now, 5:44 and 70 degrees for now.
It looks like going to the doctor will cost a little more next year. Why health experts say you'll need to look extra close at your open enrollment period this year.
And a quick look at the roads with TransGuide, looking over to I-35 at Loop 410 where things are moving. Also there at 410 at Evers. We'll be checking in with our Stephen Cavazos very soon. And welcome back. It is 5:47 in your morning consumer headlines. The Food and Drug Administration has announced a shortage of the attention deficit hyperactivity drug Adderall. Now, according to the agency's drug shortages page, back orders for several generic forms of the drug are expected to last into March. There is also a back order on one name brand dosage that's expected to be resolved this month. Other manufacturers are producing, but they don't have enough supply to continue to meet U.S. market demand. They expect inventory to recover in the coming months.
Well, bad news for the housing market. The latest figures show mortgage rates have hit a 20-year high. According to Freddie Mac this week, the average rate for a 30-year fixed rate mortgage was 6.9%. That's the highest average since April of 2002. And more than double what the rate was a year ago. The Federal Reserve has been hiking interest rates to combat rising inflation, and that has caused concerned investors to make moves impacting the mortgage rates. However, Freddie Mac's chief economist says home sales are already dropping and prices are cooling.
And you might have to pay more to see the doctor next year. Experts say most employees can expect to pay more for health insurance coverage next year and out-of-pocket doctor's visits too. Insurance premiums are usually set in advance and last for 12 months. There are new contracts now though, and so you'll have to take a closer look during your open enrollment period, which typically runs this month and next.
548, 70 degrees. Stephen, any incidents out on the road? It's been pretty quiet this morning.
Yeah, we did have a few incidents that popped up off of the roadway, but nothing major right now that's going to slow down anybody that has to get out there in the next few minutes. 90 at 410, you can see that it's just a quiet shot there. Things are looking steady over there at 90 at Military, but we know that 90 typically is a pretty busy spot for anyone that is commuting this early in the morning. But other places like 35 at Space Center, things look fine there. And as we get one other jump over here to 37 at Fair Avenue, I'd say it looks pretty fair. But let's get you to the map because, again, some of those incidents popped up off of the main highways, so you don't see any slowdowns there. In fact, we just see a lot of green out there. So if you have to head out in the next few minutes, you'll be in luck. But just make sure to plan your commute ahead of time. We mentioned that what's taking place here off of utility work, at Flock Hill Selma Road right here in Bexar County, it has already been going on for a few days since October 2nd, according to KSAT. The work's going to continue tonight, Friday, October 14th, 8 in the evening to 5 in the morning. So if you are out late in the late hours tonight, just be careful out there. You'll see alternating lane closures in both directions right there at the Wurzbach Parkway intersection. But always head over to our website at ksat.com/traffic for a full list of all the closures. Right now, traffic there at 10 at Frio looks to be moving just fine.
Thank you, Stephen.
Yeah, good news there. And, you know, we're all excited, getting giddy about like the cooler weather for next week, but we really need the rain.
Yes, we very much do. I know, Sarah, you were talking a little bit earlier about the Drought Monitor. In case you missed it, this is the latest one that was released yesterday morning, to no one's surprise because of the lack of beneficial rainfall that we have seen across South Texas. We still have drought in place across the vast majority of our region. Here in the Bexar County area, in San Antonio Metro, extreme to even exceptional drought still in place. That also stretches up the I-35 corridor as well. Now here in San Antonio, pretty quiet into the upcoming weekend, but by Sunday night and even more so on Monday, is looking like we will have some better chances to find some scattered rain and a couple of thunderstorms move in, all as we see our next cold front push into South Texas as well. Details on that in just a bit, but first a look at the change in dew points from now compared to this time yesterday. You can see, especially across the central and northern portions of our area, that brown color, very much the drier air that is still in place, making it feel just a little bit more comfortable outside when you are stepping out for the Friday morning drive. That front is actually stalled across our region this morning. So on the south side of that boundary, for places like Pleasanton, reaching over to Cotulla as well as Carrizo Springs, a little bit more of that humidity is in place, and unfortunately we are going to see that humidity take fully back over throughout the day today, and even more so as we head into the upcoming weekend. But first, here, look at your temperatures. 56 at Kerrville this hour, 71 in San Antonio, 68 in Kennedy, 70 out in Carrizo Springs. Zooming this in, neighborhood view, 62 in Bulverde, at 68 out in Converse this hour as well. So we will see those temperatures warm, of course, after the sun comes up. Mid-70s by 10 a.m., low 80s as we head into the lunchtime hour, and then into the afternoon, warmer than average expected across the area, with those daytime highs climbing into the upper 80s and low 90s out there. We're pretty quiet, nothing out there in terms of radar. We have seen a few clouds stream in from the west. The vast majority of us will stay quiet out there this Friday, but by late afternoon and into the early evening, maybe a few very isolated showers south and east of San Antonio, especially closer to the coast where that humidity is already taking back over. And again, as we see those winds flip in from the southeast into the upcoming weekend, that Gulf moisture does continue to pump back into South Texas. You'll really be able to feel that in the mornings, upper 60s, low 70s, transitioning to the upper 80s and low 90s. But that moisture is good when it comes to that front that does move in Sunday night and Monday, because that will help fuel fall, that next best chance for some scattered rain and thunderstorms again, especially on Monday. It will be a day that you'll want the rain jacket and the umbrella with you. And speaking of the jacket, you'll really want that after we see that front push through, because those temperatures do look to tumble a bit more, with some mornings in the 50s and then highs contained to the 70s.
Will this rain actually make a difference in the drought?
It won't completely bust it. We need a lot of rain for that, but any little bit helps, especially after the summer that we've had. It looks like as of right now, we could find upwards of about 1 to 2 inches. So fingers crossed, because yes, any little bit helps at this point.
All right, thank you, Mia.
Yeah, we'll take a little help.
Yeah.
5:53 and 70 degrees.
And a new Lego video game and a space exploration sim are among the latest video game releases. We're going to get a first look next.
Lego Brick Tales is a puzzle-solving adventure where players have to get creative with their brick-building skills. The game sends you on a quest through Lego dioramas to rebuild an amusement park. Lego Brick Tales is out now for the Nintendo Switch. Six years after its initial release, No Man's Sky has landed on the Nintendo Switch. Hello Games' Interplanetary Explorer retains the procedurally generated worlds for your character to encounter, and currently commands the best review ratings of any version of the game, according to review aggregator Metacritic. Cuphead has been entertaining players with its side-scrolling gameplay and vintage animation style since 2017, but only as a digital release. December 6th marks the date a physical edition arrives for the award-winning game, and pre-orders are open now for a collector's edition from IM 8-Bit that includes a Cuphead marionette. Leveling up in Hollywood, I'm Rick Damigella.
Well, that looks cute. Time now, 5:57 and 70 degrees for now. Ahead in our next hour of GMSA, are you looking for some extra cash? Well, you're not alone. New data shows side hustlers are on the rise. We're going to tell you about some of the popular side gigs and how much you could potentially earn. And a quick look at the roads with TransGuide. Things are moving this morning. They're at I-10 at Hackberry. Happy Friday, guys. We'll be checking in with Stephen Cavazos very soon.
This morning, a scary scene for 2 people and their pets after flames broke out at a home on the northeast side. We'll tell you if anyone was hurt.
The fallout from what will likely be the final January 6th hearing. I'm ABC's Jay O'Brien in Washington. The never-before-seen video and the surprising conclusion to the hearing. Coming up.
And taking a look outside with live cam. Yay, it's Friday and it's 70 degrees. Not too bad out there.
Live from KSAT 12. Good Morning San Antonio starts right now.
Good morning. It's finally Friday. It is October 14th, and we're excited about today and the weekend, but we are, we have all the feels for Monday.
Yes. So this is a cool feeling because we're excited about Friday, and believe it or not, we're excited about Monday. And that's because of all the changes that we're going to see. We're going to check in with Mia because not only are we expecting cooler weather, Mia, also some rain.
So yes, really all good things when it comes to the front that is expected to move through Sunday night and into Monday. We'll talk all about it. But first, remember we had that front that moved through this time yesterday. It filtered in some drier air for our Thursday. Well, that is now stalled across the central portions of the area here this Friday morning. Still have that drier air in place here in San Antonio, stretching up into portions of the hill country as well, where those dew points are in the 30s and 40s. But on the south side of that boundary, seeing more of that Gulf moisture take back over, those dew points a little bit more elevated, likely feeling that if you are stepping out for the Friday morning drive. Temperature-wise, we're currently sitting in the 70s and upper 60s here in the San Antonio area, 71 over at SA International, 73 at Stinson, 68 over at Randolph there on the east side of town. I do think we will find plenty of sunshine out there into the afternoon. Partly cloudy skies helping those temperatures warm into the upper 80s and low 90s. So it is going to be a warmer than average day. That will continue into the upcoming weekend. And we also are expecting that humidity to fully take back over here over the next 24 hours. hours, but that changes into the beginning of next week after we see that next front move through. We'll talk about those tumbling temperatures as well as our next best chance for rain here in just a bit. But let's go over to Stephen for a check of that morning commute.
Things are looking pretty good over here. Thank you, Mia. As we get a look around town, 1604 Petranco, not too bad over there, but you can see there at 410 at Jackson Keller, we have a lot more people out there because we are getting closer to that busy time that we all know as morning rush. But I wouldn't say you need to rush out the door. Enjoy your coffee at home if you can. But right now, it looks like the commute is not too bad. 281 there at 410. Saw some flashing lights out there by the airport, but it looks like that already cleared out. And there at Bassey, it does look like it's getting busy, but it's not too bad. Let's go ahead and get you to the map because, again, the big topic has been throughout the morning have been those active road closures. We'll continue to bring you that information. But right now, travel times aren't looking bad at all. Also, as we get a look there, that journey from Bernie on I-10 eastbound looks to be about 24 minutes at this hour. 26, I wouldn't say you need to hurry if you're coming in from Bulverde on 281 southbound. Just went up to 27 minutes, but still, take your time. And it's not too awful for coming in from New Braunfels on I-35 southbound. There, 25 minutes is what you can expect for that morning drive. Let's get one last look around town. 90 at Military, not too bad over there. And 35 at Main, traffic is picking up, but we'll watch the roads closely. And as always, make sure you do the same. Guys.
Thank you, Stephen. New this morning, cleanup is underway after an overnight fire on the northeast side of town. Now, it began around 4 this morning at a home on Sunup Drive near Judson and Lookout Road. That's where crews say a fire broke out in the kitchen. 2 people and several dogs were able to make it out safely. And right now, it's not clear what sparked those flames.
2 people dead and 1 person injured after a shootout between neighbors at an apartment complex. We now know the name of the 2 people killed. They're identified as 35-year-old Dante Smoots and 33-year-old Anthony Smoots. The shooting happened last Sunday at an apartment complex on Rigsby Avenue. Police say the men, along with a neighbor in the building next door, were firing at each other. Both men died from gunshot wounds to their chest. A 26-year-old man was shot in the ankle.
And a one-of-a-kind event is coming to Uvalde in 2023, and at the heart of it are plans to help the city heal. The Balling for Uvalde World Weekend will serve as a fundraiser for a new rec center. Organizers also plan to honor the Robb Elementary victims. The fundraiser will have charity concerts, an international celebrity and family soccer tournament. Baller Academy, a youth mentoring organization behind the event, hopes to raise $15 million. It is anticipating thousands to participate in person and millions to tune in to the live stream worldwide.
The complex is going to be named after these families. You're going to have the Leila Salazar track. You're going to have the Eva Morales conference room, the Jet Rivenos playground. Look, there's going to be 2 events in 2023. The Super Bowl and the Balling for Uvalde World Weekend. Trust me.
The fundraiser is scheduled for February 4th and 5th. A kickoff event is set for November 6th. A website to donate and get tickets is already up. We have that link on our website at KSAT.com.
Now to the investigation into the January 6th insurrection. The House Select Committee investigating the deadly Capitol attack held what will likely be their final public hearing last night. The committee laying out their full case that former President Trump was at the center of a plot to overturn the 2020 election. ABC's Jay O'Brien reports.
Good morning. There are still a lot of unanswered questions as to how former President Trump will respond to that subpoena or how his possible testimony would even play out. But last night, committee members made it clear they believe the American people deserve to hear from the former president.
This morning, the fallout from the stunning finale of what is expected to be the last January 6th hearing.
We have got to finish the proceedings.
The committee playing never-before-seen footage of lawmakers, including House Speaker Nancy Pelosi and Senate Democratic leader Chuck Schumer, scrambling to respond as rioters breached the Capitol.
They're putting on their tear gas masks.
The group bipartisan, Republican leaders like Senators Mitch McConnell and John Thune there as well. The video shot by Pelosi's daughter, a filmmaker.
Can you get the Maryland National Guard to come too?
The scenes, part of a larger case the committee made arguing former President Donald Trump was the central player in a plot to overturn the 2020 election, showing evidence that if he lost, Trump planned as early as July to claim the election was stolen, a lie that motivated a mob of Trump supporters to attack the Capitol. The panel concluding by issuing a subpoena for Donald Trump to testify under oath.
We are obligated to seek answers directly from the man who set this all in motion. And every American is entitled to those answers, so we can act now to protect our republic.
Overnight on his social media platform, former President Trump said he would respond to the January 6th committee this morning, but he did not directly say if he would address the subpoena. Jay O'Brien, ABC News, Washington.
And topping your morning consumer headlines, high inflation also driving a sharp increase in Social Security payouts. The Social Security Administration announcing an 8.7% boost in benefits for next year. That's the biggest cost of living adjustment in more than 40 years. The average recipient will see monthly checks go up by more than $140. And two supermarket giants may be ready to merge. The Wall Street Journal says the biggest supermarket company in the country, Kroger, is now in talks about a possible combination with number two, Albertsons.
Sony is coming out with two versions of over-the-counter hearing aids. They'll be self-fitting with help from an app. Sony says they're among the smallest on the market, costing from $1,000 to $1,300. TikTok making it easier to go to the movies. It's launching showtimes on TikTok, letting movie studios show a trailer, then immediately display details about nearby theaters and showtimes. Users can also link to a partner site where tickets can be purchased.
Netflix is rolling out a cheaper plan with ads following a big drop in subscribers. Starting next month, the streaming service will offer a monthly plan for $6.99. That is less than half the price of its most popular plan. No downloads will be available with the ad-supported option, though.
Looking ahead, Judson ISD is hosting a job fair tomorrow morning at Wagner High School in the cafeteria. It starts at 8 and goes until noon. They're looking for teachers, teacher aides, hall monitors, custodians, child nutrition staff, and maintenance workers. Interviews will also be happening. If interested, the school district says bring your updated resume, information on references, and degree information if you have one.
Time now, 6:09 and 70 degrees for now.
A woman is fighting for her life this morning after she was hit by a vehicle on the city's northwest side overnight. We'll tell you if anyone is facing charges.
And this car is headed to the Smithsonian in Washington, D.C., why a local family says it's so special and what role it will play at the museum.
Definitely that fall feeling this morning with low humidity, 70 degrees at 6:09. How long will this trend of low humidity stick around for, and when can we expect the temperatures for real to drop? Mia will explain when we come back.
Hi, welcome back at 6:13. A local family is donating a priceless relic that's been in the family since the 1930s. The 1932 Ford Model B was picked up by the Smithsonian's National Museum of American History in Washington, D.C.
Pretty cool. Not only is a car of historic value, but so is a story of the original owners, the McKinney family of San Antonio. So Delbert and Dottie McKinney were a black middle-class family in Texas. Del worked as a Pullman porter for the Katy Railroad line that went from San Antonio to Chicago. He and his wife were part of the local union efforts. The car was then passed on to their son, Alfonso Sr., who served as an airman. It was driven about 10 years ago, but it's been sitting in the family's garage.
When people go and see this car and hear about my great-grandfather and our family and my grandfather who served in the Air Force, they were just really proud of their family, and they were really proud of this country.
The museum curator of transportation says the inside of the car will be restored and displayed in the museum in about a year. You can read this full story right now on KSAT.com.
That's pretty cool. And I took a look at the roads with TransGuide. It looks like things are okay from this angle, but let's go ahead and check in with our Stephen Cavazos.
Yeah, we're not spotting any of those out on the roadways this early in the morning, so something special. But if you are going to take a drive right now this early, let's get a look. 410 at Starcrest doesn't look bad, and north at Ingram, really just getting a lot more folks out there. And you can see as we take a jump there at 281 at the airport, things are moving quite nicely. No issues to report, no crashes, no reported debris on the roadway, just some quiet roads is what we really have to tell you about. And of course, those active road closures. This is something to plan ahead for as we are talking about Monday quite often here on GMSA. Next Monday, we're going to see some asphalt work taking place there off Loop 410 over on the west side of San Antonio. This does begin at 8 in the evening, should wrap at 5 in the morning, but this is going to take us all the way to the end of October. So again, if you're a late late night owl, early bird commuter, just make sure that you plan ahead of time and drive carefully through these areas. You'll see alternating lane closures on the frontage roads. That'll be in both directions from Bandera Road to Marbach Road. But if you want to get all the information on your commute, you can grab those phones right now. Open your camera app, scan that QR code that is popping up on the screen. It will take you directly to our KSAT traffic page. It has a full list of the closures right there at the screen. Just remember to scroll to the bottom if you're on your mobile app, and you'll find the full list of closures there.
Thank you,
Stephen.
Sorry, Sarah.
You're fine.
So we're talking about going to the school bus. Maybe this week, not so much a jacket, but next week for sure.
Next week is going to be jacket weather after we see that front move through on Monday. So if you're a fall lover, you've been waiting for those fall-like temps, I think you're going to like next week. But first, if you're stepping out to the bus stop here this Friday morning, it's not too bad out there. We have some drier air in place here in San Antonio and up into the hill country. Those temperatures in the 60s, still holding on to a few low 70s around town as well. It is going to be plenty warm though if you are stepping out later this afternoon, upper 80s and low 90s. So a warmer than average day is expected there this Friday. Let's take a look at those temperatures across the area again, where we do have those lower humidity values in place, especially across portions of the hill country. 57 right now in Kerrville. It's 65 in Uvalde, 70 out in Carrizo Springs, 72 in Pleasanton, and 67 out in Kennedy. Zooming this in neighborhood view here in the San Antonio Metro, 71 officially over at the airport, 61 near the Bernie stage area, 65 in Rio Medina, and 70 out in Hondo. We do have some of those clouds in place here in town right now. I do think those will scatter out a bit more as we head into the afternoon hours, finding more peaks of sunshine there, helping those temperatures warm. Low 80s already by lunchtime here in your KSAT 12-hour forecast. Into the afternoon, again, those afternoon highs warmer than where they should be for this time of year in the upper 80s and low 90s. So if you're stepping out for any of those Friday evening plans, say to an area football game, sunset at about 7:04, will be in the mid 80s by kickoff time and then around 80 by halftime. We had that front that moved through yesterday morning. That is now stalled across the area. Nothing in terms of rain out there early this Friday. That will continue to be the case for most throughout the remainder of the day. But I do think south and east of San Antonio, closer to the coast, where more of that moisture is already in place. Sure, maybe an isolated shower before the day is done. Overall, that coverage very, very limited. Rain chances do increase though into the beginning of next week, which is the good news there as we see that next front move into South Texas. But before we can fully get there, that humidity is going to take back over thanks to our winds turning in from the southeast throughout the day today. You'll really be able to notice that by tomorrow morning and into our Sunday morning as well. A quick look here at your weekend forecast. Upper 60s, low 70s in the morning, transitioning to the upper 80s and low 90s. So still plenty hot for this time in October, but that does change into the beginning of next week as we see that next front move through Sunday night and into early Monday, the time frame there. That also will kick up about 60% chance for some scattered downpours there on Monday. Rain jackets will be needed. And then after we see that drier air take over, look at those temperatures. Morning 50s, transitioning to the 70s. So yes, it is going to feel a whole lot more like fall next week.
Spooky season has started.
There you go.
All right. 70 degrees at 6:19.
And still ahead on GMSA, we're going to get you ready for Friday Night Lights with a preview of some of our top high school football games this week.
We'll be right back.
KSAT 12 presents another Day of the Dead story, Building the Ofrenda.
Ofrenda means offering, and on November 1st, these altars welcome back our loved ones to the world of the living. They're built with many pieces and parts, and each of them has a specific purpose. Water is one of nature's four elements, and after a spirit's long journey back to the world of the living, they may be thirsty. So leaving out a pitcher and a glass of water is a nice touch. It can be placed on the altar's second level beside your other offerings. A clean soul is a happy soul, so your loved one may want to wash up. Many ofrendas will also include a basin, mirror, and a bar of soap. In this case, they're placed on the bottom level with other elements of purification. When I build my ofrenda, I make sure that I pour the water in a beautiful glass or cup, just as I would for any other special guest entering my home.
Don't mind me. I'm just the flu. I'm quite harmless, really. And when people ask, but aren't you linked to dangerous flu complications like pneumonia, heart attack, and hospitalizations? I just say, but I'm just the flu. It's him. Who? I'm just the flu.
Fight the flu with Sanofi flu vaccines, which help prevent flu in older adults. They've even been shown to provide better protection from flu-related complications compared to standard dose flu shots.
Don't get Fluzone high-dose quadrivalent if you've had a severe allergic reaction to its components, including egg products, or after previous dose of flu vaccine. Don't get Flublok quadrivalent if you've had a severe allergic reaction to its components. Tell your healthcare professional if you've had severe muscle weakness after a flu shot. People with weakened immune systems may have a lower vaccine response.
This flu season, you do have a choice. Choose the protection of a Sanofi flu vaccine. Ask your doctor or pharmacist which Sanofi flu vaccine is right for you.
Well, the big game for Week 8 of our big game coverage features Alamo Heights facing Harlandale for the District 14-5A Division II title, and that's one of the 9 games you'll be able to stream live on the BGC app.
KSAT 12's Andrew Seeley previews some of the best matchups on tonight's streaming schedule.
It's very important having this undefeated record. The momentum we have, I hope to carry it over into the game.
You can't go overconfident to any game. You have to go and treat every opponent like they're going to be the best team in the world, and so we have to prepare adequately for that.
For the first time since 2014, Alamo Heights and Harlandale will meet on the gridiron. There isn't much history between the Mules and Indians over the last decade, but there's plenty of mutual respect. Both teams enter Friday's matchup with high-flying offenses and matching 5-0 records in district play.
It's everything that you want, in a team, they do. And so we have to match that. Our intensity, our effort, our speed of the game, we've got to be a little bit faster, a little bit better than they are on Friday.
Alamo Heights is the type of team that you want to measure yourself up against, and they're a very good team. It'll be a great challenge for us to play against them, and it will be a playoff atmosphere.
Elsewhere in Class 5A action, Veterans Memorial looks to bounce back from a tough loss to Liberty Hill last week with a game against Bastrop Friday night in 13-5A Division II. The Patriots' offense is red hot, scoring at least 31 points in every game they've played this season.
That is a shot down the field. He's got a man.
And in Class 14-4A Division I, 1-0 Somerset travels to 1-0 Fredericksburg. The Bulldogs and Billies both come into Friday's matchup after posting dominant shutout district victories. You can stream all 3 of these games live on the BGC app Friday night starting at 7 p.m. And of course, we'll have all the highlights on the night beat. For Good Morning San Antonio, I'm Andrew Seeley.
All right, Andrew, thank you for that report. Time now 6:25, 70 degrees for now.
Still ahead on GMSA, are you looking to make a little extra cash? So coming up in our next half hour, we'll tell you about a couple of side gigs that could land you some more money.
And we see a little bit of a slowdown there at I-10 East at Loop 410. We're going to be checking in with Stephen Cavazos after the break.
This morning, a woman is in the hospital fighting for her life after she was struck by a car overnight. We'll tell you how it happened.
Nearly 24 years have gone by since the 500-year flood of 1998 here in San Antonio. We're going to take you back to the historic event.
Taking a look outside with live cam, 70 degrees right at 6:29. Mia is in the house this Friday morning. Why we are excited for Monday's forecast and not particularly this weekend, she'll let us know in just a bit. But first, good morning. It is Friday, October 14th.
Yes, happy Friday. Thanks for joining us. We are excited that it will actually feel like fall. It's October. It should feel that way, right?
It's about time.
Yes.
It is about time. That is for sure. And by this time next week, yes, it'll feel just a little bit more like fall out there as we see kind of another cold front make its way into south central Texas. But first, after that front that moved through yesterday, we did see some of that drier air move in its wake. That front is now stalled across south central Texas. More muggy conditions in store on the south side of that boundary. Still holding on to plenty of that drier air, lower humidity values here in San Antonio, reaching back up into the hill country. So that is good news for that Friday morning drive. Taking a look at temperatures, we've been able to see those temperatures fall just a little bit more where that drier air is in place. 56 in Comfort Comfort this hour, 68 in Bandera, 71 over at the airport, 69 in Helotes, and 68 in Converse. Now, as we head into this afternoon, it is going to be a warmer than average one. We'll show you that here on our dog walking forecast. This is Mila. Looks like she was taking a little break out there on her morning walk. We will see those temperatures warm as the sun comes up. Those morning clouds that we have in place right now scattering out just a little bit more into the afternoon. Again, those temperatures climbing into the upper 80s and low 90s. That humidity fully takes back over, unfortunately, as we head into the upcoming weekend. Warmer than average, but good news is on the way, not just in terms of cooler temperatures, but also a better rain chance early next week. We'll have all those details coming up in just a few, but first let's check in with Steven to see how that morning commute is going.
Well, seeing some slowdowns here, Mia, thank you. Right over on the east side as we take you to the map. TransGuide camera, I-10 east at 410. Looks like this could be a stalled vehicle. Right now, nothing has been reported that we're seeing from TxDOT or the San Antonio fire page, but of course, drive carefully through the area. TxDOT Hero truck is making its way out to the scene right there on the TransGuide camera. Looks like another one may be joining that truck out there, but off in the distance could be a possible box trailer. Very dark to see, but what we are getting a good look at is the slowdown that it is causing. So just be careful if you drive through the area. I'll get our friends at TransGuide on the phone, find out exactly what the direction is and what we're looking at, but could be a stalled vehicle. Now, taking you to the map, it's just been a lot of conversation that we have been bringing up about these active road closures, but none of which have really caused any slowdowns just yet. But we are now entering that busy time during the morning where we will see a lot more folks out on the roadways. So just remember, if you have to head out in the next few minutes or so, there's really not going to be a need to rush. And if you see any situations out there, remember to move over or slow down. Let's go ahead and get you back on TransGuide. 410 at Evers, one last peek around town. Things are moving just fine, but we're going to have updates and we'll find out where that stalled vehicle is, or that incident, I should say, in the next few minutes. Ladies.
Thank you, Stephen. Investigators are looking into the cause of a fire that damaged more than one building at a Northside construction business.
The fire broke out a couple of hours ago on Breeden Street. That's not far from San Pedro Avenue and Jackson Keller. Katrina Weber is there live. And Katrina, how extensive was that damage?
Well, firefighters say that there are two buildings that have damage here. They are back here. They're mobile homes, according to the fire department. We still have a couple of investigators still here at the scene, but nothing like what we saw when we first arrived. Let me give you a look at the video. This started before 4:30 this morning. Firefighters called to this property that belongs to Guido Brothers Construction. They say they found two mobile homes on fire. It looks like it started perhaps in one and then spread to the second one. They did have to work to keep it from spreading even farther than that, but they say that no one was working here. It looks like this might be just a property where they store these buildings that they perhaps take to construction sites with them. No one here at the time, and again, no injuries reported. They say that it looks like maybe those buildings haven't been used for quite a while, so this could be just a storage property here where they were keeping these buildings. They say, though, it is a good thing it did not spread to one of these other buildings toward the front of the property, because they say there's a lot of wood in that and it would have gone up in flames even more. But for now, just two mobile homes that look like they were just being stored here that caught fire this morning. No word on the cause just yet. Reporting live on the north side, Katrina Weber, KSAT 12 News.
Thank you, Katrina. We want to let you know about an active clear alert you may see on your way to work this morning. The Harris County Sheriff's Office is looking for 49-year-old Michelle Roens and 17-year-old Tyler Roens. They were last seen around noon yesterday in Humble, Texas. That is just a little north of Houston. The two were last seen in a 2011 black Mazda 3 with Texas license plate PGP 2413. Now, if you know where they are, if you have any information that could help find them, you are asked to call the Harris County Sheriff's Office. That number is on your screen right now, 713-262-5206.
New this morning, a woman is badly hurt after she was hit by a car overnight. It happened just before 2 o'clock this morning in the 6400 block of I-10 West near Balcones Road on the northwest side. Police say a woman was walking in the street on the access road of I-10 when someone driving a dark-colored car hit her. The driver of the car did stop to help the woman. The woman was taken to the hospital with life-threatening injuries.
An accused serial robber is off the street. San Antonio police say he confessed to several robberies at smoke shops and convenience stores around the area. Now, police arrested Marcos Ojeda yesterday. The latest robbery happened at a smoke shop on West Avenue back on October 7th. Police say Ojeda showed a gun and machete during that robbery. Now, police say they identified him through surveillance video because they say he wore the same shirt and face mask during previous robberies. Right now, he's facing 3 counts of aggravated robbery, but he could get more.
This morning, 17-year-old Eric Cantu is on life support, fighting a high fever while attached to a ventilator. That's according to the family's lawyer. Now, this incident has made national and local headlines since the release of a video showing a now fired SAPD officer shooting at the teen driving away in a car. Meanwhile, James Brennan, he's out on bond. This is the video of the 27-year-old walking out of the jail after posting a $200,000 bond. He was magistrated alone in his cell and kept away from other inmates, which is standard for high-profile cases. Brennan, who opened Cantu's car door without identifying himself, fired a total of 10 shots back on October 2nd. Brennan, who had been with SAPD for just 7 months, had been cleared to patrol alone just months before the shooting.
Obviously, this person did not exercise good judgment or sound judgment. So, you can't condone that kind of stuff. To me, it looked like.
SAPD confirmed that the vehicle Cantu was in at the time of the shooting was not stolen. They also said the license plates on Cantu's vehicle did not belong to the car he was driving, but didn't give any more details. Brennan is facing 2 counts of aggravated assault by a public servant. If Cantu passes away, 1 charge against him will be upgraded. And a reminder, early voting is just around the corner, and 2 candidates are competing to fill the Bexar County judge seat. Trish DeBerry and Peter Sakai will go head-to-head in the November election. Early voting begins October 24th. Remember, Election Day is November 8th.
And one topic on the minds of voters around the country is immigration, especially in recent weeks with the busing and flying of migrants from border states to sanctuary cities. ABC's Morgan Norwood takes a closer look at the issue and talks with voters about where they stand.
In recent weeks, we've seen the already heated rhetoric on immigration explode. From the busing and flying of migrants from overwhelmed Republican border states to sanctuary cities, to the outcry from Democratic leaders now receiving them. Soon, voters will decide which elected officials will oversee how America deals with immigration.
Everything is riding on this election in terms of control of Congress.
According to the latest ABC News Washington Post poll, immigration is just 6th in the list of top issues Americans say they care about most this midterm cycle. But in a separate ABC News Ipsos poll, the vast majority of Americans who did rank immigration as a top issue believe undocumented immigration is a larger issue than legal immigration. We also talk with voters in non-border states like Pennsylvania. U.S. immigration officials admit there's been a record number of apprehensions at the U.S. southern border. More than 2 million nationwide. The Biden administration admitting there's work to do there. But as they scramble to address that, they're responding to a federal appeals court ruling that the DACA program that shields hundreds of thousands who came to the U.S. as children from deportation is unlawful. Then there's also the busing and flying of migrants. Texas Governor Greg Abbott and Florida Governor Ron DeSantis have bused or flown migrants from their states to major cities. They say it's to call attention to what they described as President Biden's failed immigration policies. Now, the Treasury Department is looking into the actions of Florida Governor Ron DeSantis, who flew migrants not from his own state, but from Texas to Martha's Vineyard, and whether DeSantis improperly used federal COVID relief funds to pay for those trips. So as it has for decades, immigration remains a divisive topic in this country and will likely drive hundreds of thousands of voters to the polls. But are any officials offering a real solution?
There has not necessarily been any substantive proposal of legislation that would get us any further to any real resolution on what's going on down at the border.
Morgan Norwood, ABC News, Los Angeles.
In your GMA First Look, the wife and mother of Los Angeles pitcher Tyler Skaggs, who died of a drug overdose in 2019, they're speaking out days after the man who provided those drugs was sentenced to prison. Look for this story more coming up on Good Morning America.
And back here at home, a reminder, San Antonio Pets Alive is overflowing with dogs and puppies right now at risk of being euthanized. That's why the nonprofit is offering free adoptions from now through October the 16th. All adoption fees will be waived. You can read more about San Antonio Pets Alive and its adoption locations over on our website at KSAT.com.
640 and 70 degrees.
And being your own boss never looked better. Side hustles are on the rise. After the break, we're going to bring you some options that can get you more cash in your pocket.
Millions of Americans are taking on a second job for some extra cash.
In fact, new data shows a full-time job pays just a little over $1,000 a week. But side hustlers claim they can earn that and more.
So how do you get started? Here's one option. You might try site testing. Just about every company has an app, and they need to test their apps or websites before they hit the market.
Sites like Just Answer offer users a chance to ask questions and get an answer from the right expert, namely you, within minutes. Now, an expert gets paid anywhere from $18 to $50 per answer.
Here's another option, especially if you love to travel. They're called guide architects, and they write personalized itineraries on websites for popular destinations.
So the architects usually charge between $25 to $150 for a guide and keep around 75% of every sale. But something to keep in mind, just make sure your side hustle does not impact your real job.
Some companies don't allow you to have more than one job, so be sure to check your company policy. All right, we're going to check in with Stephen one more time before you head out the roads. Stephen, anything? I see some flashing lights out there.
That's right there along I-10 East at Loop 410, that interchange. So let's get a closer look from the shot of TransGuide. I just spoke to them a little bit earlier over the phone, and what we are looking at is possibly a stalled RV out there. And this is a pretty busy spot because it's right there at 410 East where it meets the I-10 interchange. So a lot of traffic's already making its way through there. Of course, we are seeing those flashing lights out there. That's a good sign because that means a TxDOT Hero truck is out there working to help the driver out. Hopefully it won't take that long to clear up, but just remember to drive safe through the area. As I mentioned, already pretty busy out there where you see the interchange meet, and you can see a slowdown already taking place. So just take it easy out there, move over or slow down if you can. Let's go ahead and give you a wide look at the map now at 6:45. Looks like maybe a crash popped up just off of I-10 there as well, but unfortunately no TransGuide cameras off of the highway, so we wouldn't be able to show you the conditions. But as you can see, take that in because a lot of slowdowns are expected to take place, and we're already seeing some of that there along 90 right there near 1604 on the far west side of Bexar County, as well as I-35 on the northeast side near Live Oak. So that's always expected. We can see a lot more people are making their way out the door. So just remember to plan your commute ahead of time. And for our friends out here in Comal County, State Highway 46, barrier installation will continue to take place. That actually has been ongoing and will finish on Friday, October 21st. Will be overnight, 9 in the evening to 5 in the morning, alternating lane closures in both directions from Bentwood Drive to Far Hills Drive. So just watch out there for our friends in Comal County. But taking it back here, hopefully we'll have a better update before the show wraps. But for now, just drive safe through the area.
Thank you, Stephen.
Mm-hmm. Yes, good reminder. And I know we're excited about Monday because of, the cold front and the rain, but right now outside, not too bad in the 70s.
It really isn't here in San Antonio. We've actually found some clouds move in through the overnight hours here in town especially, so that has prevented our temperatures from falling too terribly much. We're at 71 officially over at the airport, but some neighborhoods here in the metro area have dropped into the 60s. A dew point of 39 though, so that's still very dry air that is in place here at the surface. Have a little bit more moisture the farther south you go on the south side of that stalled front that moved through the area yesterday morning. 72 Pleasanton this hour, 68 Carrizo Springs, 67 in Uvalde. It's 60 right now up in Kerrville. So those temperatures have been able to fall just a little bit more efficiently up in the hill country. KSAT 12-hour forecast throughout the remainder of this Friday. That morning cloud cover that we do have in place in spots this morning does look to scatter out just a little bit more into the afternoon. Partly cloudy skies helping those temperatures warm. Low 80s as we head into any lunchtime plans, and then into the afternoon hours. Upper 80s, low 90s expected across the vast majority of the area. So it is going to be a warmer than average afternoon to wrap up the work week. That front that we saw move through yesterday morning not doing a whole lot for us in terms of those afternoon temperatures. If you're stepping out to any Friday evening plans later today, mid 80s by 7 p.m. around 80 around 9 p.m. Not a whole lot going on in terms of radar. We are pretty quiet there across south central Texas. That will generally be the theme throughout the remainder of this Friday, but I do think by late afternoon, can't completely rule out a few very, very isolated showers south and east of San Antonio, especially closer to the coast where that humidity has been in place just a little bit longer here this morning. We are expected to sit dry for the most part into the upcoming weekend, but by Sunday night and especially on Monday, our next best chance to find some scattered rain and thunderstorms moves in with a second cold front that is going to pack a little bit more of a punch when it comes to those fall-like temperatures. So if you're a fall lover, good news there for next week. But before we can get there, winds turn in from the southeast throughout the day today. So we're going to see that Gulf moisture once again move back into a good portion of South Texas. You'll be able to notice more of that mugginess here in San Antonio by the day's end and especially into the upcoming weekend. We'll start off near 70 here in San Antonio tomorrow and into Sunday, still warmer than average into the afternoons, upper 80s, low 90s currently in the forecast. But that does change into the beginning of next week. Here comes that front. It approaches our area Sunday evening, pushes through into Monday as well. With that moisture in place, that is the good news. That helps fuel that rain and storm chance. So Monday is definitely going to be a day where you are going to want to keep that rain jacket and umbrella handy. It is looking like we could find about 1 to 2 inches in localized spots. And then as we head into next week, we start to see that drier air move in and that cooler air as well. So mornings in the 50s, sweater weather in the mornings, transitioning to the 70s into the afternoons.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Mia. All right, well, we're nearing the 24th anniversary of the 500-year flood that happened right here in San Antonio.
Now back on October 17th, 1998, it started raining and it kept raining. It started overnight Friday, and by Saturday morning, floodwater was already covering streets, neighborhoods, and other parts of the city. So officially, after several days of heavy rainfall, the city received more than 15 inches of rain.
Wow. KSAT brought the community extensive coverage of that historic event. Many members of our current news team were on air.
And right now on our website, KSAT.com, you can read about their accounts during our coverage and watch our archived video from Sky 12 showcasing the areas of San Antonio and surrounding areas almost completely submerged.
Just look for this story over on our website at KSAT.com. All right, it's 6:51 and 71 degrees.
And how long to let your kids play video games? Well, tomorrow on GMSA, we're going to tell you why a few hours a day on the Xbox might actually be good for them.
Does Rooney play?
Not really.
She's not a gamer.
Not yet, no.
Not yet. All right. Well, taking a look outside with live cam, waiting for the sun to peep up. That's when you know it's getting close to the fall, when the sun takes longer to rise in the morning. We'll be right back.
And before you go, just a reminder again that San Antonio Pets Alive is overflowing with dogs and puppies at risk of being euthanized. And right now they're offering free adoptions. So from now through October 16th, all adoption fees will be waived. You can read more about this and its adoption locations over on our website, KSAT.com.
Are you looking for work? Judson ISD is hosting a job fair tomorrow morning at Wagner High School in the cafeteria. It starts at 8, goes until noon. They're looking to fill a number of positions. If you're interested, be sure to bring your resume with you.
And coming up today on GMSA at 9, a therapeutic horse riding ranch is helping people heal, grow, and learn.
Tiffany Huertas takes us out to the ranch and tells us who this organization is for, and that shares one man's story of how the center has helped him.
Plus, we're going backstage of a local production of the Rocky Horror Picture Show. Those stories and more today on GMSA at 9. Steven.
I almost made it through the show without an incident. Let's get a look here. Crash reported right there along I-10 East. So if you're traveling in, you have to watch out because a slowdown is expected as you approach Callahan Road. Just not a good area if you're making your way to the downtown area this morning, Mia.
Yeah, if you are stepping out for the morning commute, again, those temperatures in the 60s and 70s right now. We will see those temperatures warm into the afternoon. Upper 80s, low 90s. The humidity returns this weekend. Not so great news there, but that moisture will fuel that next chance for rain and storms Sunday night and Monday. So plan to keep your KSAT Weather Authority app handy then before it's cooler next week.
Thank you, Mia. All right, the Girl Show will continue at GMSA at 9 featuring Stephen Cavazos.
Featuring Stephen Cavazos.
Don't forget, we'll see you back here at 9. And other guys, have a wonderful weekend.